#1 Platinum Roofing Company. Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
KDKA and KDKA-FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Medicare Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 68 degrees, Pittsburgh International, at 9 o'clock. I'm Rob Taylor. 2 people have died following an early morning crash on the Turnpike in Westmoreland County. Now, this crash took place around 2:30 this morning in the eastbound lanes of I-76, the Turnpike, near the Route 136 overpass in Hempville Township. Still working to learn exactly the circumstances that led to this incident. Again, 2 people dead after an early morning crash this morning on the Pennsylvania Turnpike. Stable News Radio, KDK, for more on this developing story. An Armstrong County woman facing theft by unlawful taking, receiving stolen property, and other charges after investigators say she stole almost $300,000 from a refrigeration company she used to work for. DA's office says 34-year-old Ashley Apperson of West Leesburg stole from the Ventec refrigeration company in Penn Hills between January of last year and May of this year. DA's office says nearly 90 non-payroll checks that were unauthorized by the business were issued to Apperson, and prosecutors allege that Apperson also made unauthorized purchases on a company credit card. Police say Apperson admitted to using some of the units, or the funds rather, for online gambling. She faces a preliminary hearing in early July. Pittsburgh Police, which has been understaffed for years, has some help on the way. 32 recruits graduated from the police academy Thursday night. They'll now go through 3 months of field training. The 32 graduates bring the number to 763 sworn-in officers, still well below the budgeted 900 for the force. There will be another class of recruits set to go through the academy in August. Mayor O'Connor and Pittsburgh Public Safety Director Sheldon Williams attended the graduation and thanked the officers for choosing public service in Pittsburgh. KDK Radio News Time. It's 9:30 or 9:02. The AccuWeather forecast is coming up.
So, at Monroeville Physical, spelled F-Y-Z-I-C-A-L, they help people move with less pain and more confidence. I've seen it. In fact, Physical has helped Pittsburgh get back on its feet with confidence through personalized one-to-one physical therapy and advanced balance treatment. It's amazing. The therapists use leading technology and customized care plans, focus on balance, neuropathy, and pain relief. You get back to doing the things you love safely and confidently. Call Monroeville Physical, 412-457-8200, 412-457-8200.
Some third-party vacation rental sites charge fees just for booking through their platform. On a full week stay, those fees can add up fast. On one real 7-night stay, a guest could have saved about $2,800 just by booking direct with SWAC Vacations. That's roughly the cost of a new washer and dryer. Money you could have saved and put in your pocket just by skipping the middleman. Compare direct pricing first at swacvacations.com. SWAC Vacations. Same stay, less fees.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
It will be mostly cloudy and humid today with some rain and a rumble of thunder, high up to 75. Clear to partly cloudy and humid tonight, low down to 66. Partly sunny tomorrow with a passing shower or two, high up to 80. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Matt Riddy, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The following is paid for by MediConnect. Information on the program is intended to solely further the public's general knowledge about the product. Opinions expressed should not be relied upon for any purpose by any member of the audience. News Radio KDKA does not guarantee the accuracy of any of the information aired on the following program.
These are the people, the movers and shakers, the businesses, the people you know in your community who make Pittsburgh work. This is Pittsburgh Works on 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
My man, Lance O'Brien is in the building. It's MediConnect, the Inside Connection, and they've already held a meeting about AEP. So if you have any questions, and it may seem early, but it'll be here before you know it. October will be on the doorstep. So what you need to do, you need to get on the phone and give us a call, because we're going to take calls the entire hour, not just in that third segment, that roundtable segment. all 60 minutes of today's show. Anything on your mind, give us a call. And don't forget, 888-818-6334. You can reach them. Live advisors standing by until noon. So we have a lot to get to. And they had a big day yesterday, a little bit of a gathering of the crew. But today it's all about me, Lance, and you. Lance, how are you? Good morning.
I'm great. How you doing today?
I'm good. So what did you guys do yesterday?
Every year we do a team building event, because we're running and going crazy all the time. And sometimes people from one department don't necessarily coordinate or communicate. So we get together once a year and we call it our team building day. And we were at Dave & Buster's up in off of McKnight Road yesterday, and it was just a great day of really having some fun, playing some games, and talking about the new year. But you did reference it at the very beginning. It's hard to believe, Rob. Honestly, like I feel like truly we've kind of just caught our breath from AAP, and AHIP came out. And for people that are listening, they're probably like, "What's AHIP?" I have no idea what that is. AHIP is the test that we have to take every year to recertify for the next year of Medicare. So that came out Monday. On Wednesday, we had our AEP planning meeting as we're starting to have the conversations about what it's going to look like this coming year. So a lot of stuff actually happening this year that's going to matter, or this week, that's going to matter to the people this fall.
So when you get up that very first morning of AEP and you look in the mirror and you get ready to get into the car and hit the ignition switch and make your way, you're just like, ready, set, go.
It's buckle in time, right? Like when you're getting in the car, you buckle in and you just hit the accelerator and you go. And, last year was really historic, especially here locally, where we saw more planned termination, more migration. And what I mean by that is people switching from one plan to another. For those that are listening this morning on Medicare and they have supplements, they probably have seen higher increases to their Medicare supplements than they have historically. We have less prescription drug plans that are available for people who need to purchase those. Rob, literally 4 years ago, we had twice as many prescription drug plans to choose from. So there is a lot changing in the landscape of Medicare for sure.
We have a lot to get to. We're going to get to this day's in history. We're going to tell you about the seminars. We've got our trivia question, which somebody, if they get the answer correct, they'll get a $15 Get-Go gas card. So where would you like to go next?
Yeah, let's jump right into this day in history. Not a lot of big things, but a few very interesting ones. So this was before my time, but on this date in 1950, Harry S. Truman orders U.S. forces into the Korean War.
And he shortly thereafter fired Douglas MacArthur, who was a hero from World War II, because he was fearful that guy was going to go into China and start World War III.
Yeah, I mean, crazy. I'd love it to see if we could get some time of peace and harmony. It'd be great, wouldn't it?
How about Harry Truman, him and his wife, after he's done being president, they jump in their jalopy and drive back to Missouri. He's got $80 in the bank. No money. The house that he left behind is falling apart, and they have no pension. But because of him, they created a presidential pension. But the guy was president, helped end World War II, was the VP of FDR in his last term before he died, April of 45. And then, obviously, the Korean War before Ike comes in, and he goes back to Missouri with $80 in the bank. So I thought to myself, after reading that, I'm doing okay.
Yeah, you should get a few shekels, right? For all that type of work.
Get him a car.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, what else?
This one I thought was really interesting. On this date in 1967, the world's first ATM machine is installed. And Barclays Bank in London.
67?
67. I wouldn't have thought that. That's like 80 years ago, right?
It's amazing.
Is it 80 years ago? I can't know. It's 60 years.
Next year it'll be 60.
Yeah, 60 years ago. Crazy. Are you an ATM person?
No.
I am not either. I don't like cash. I hate to say that,
debit
but
card.
Yeah, I'm debit. Most things I put on my credit card to get points and then pay it off.
Listen, you know where I'm at this stage of my life, and I was alluding to this because he got here a little bit early today. I don't like spending money, period.
Yeah.
I've got to get out of that mode because, I do want to have a little bit of fun before it's all said and done. But, I'm a lot smarter now than I once was. You just have to be not necessarily cheap, just a little bit more common sense.
I think when we're young, we want everything so quick, right? And then when we get family, that just takes everything up whether we want it to or not. And then we get to this place where we might have a little bit more disposable income, but now, like you said, we're more frugal, or we're like, the $300 watch tells the same time as a $30 watch, right? So who cares?
Well, listen, I know, and you can really save money if you put a little thought process into it.
You can. Now, this one really hits home for me. I was born in 1971. On this date in 1972, Atari is founded. And I'll tell you, when I was in my very young years, 8, 10, 12 years old, Atari, I remember when I got my first one. Do you remember those machines? It was just just the joystick and the one button. It's not like these controllers now where we got 6 buttons here and a couple on the back. I mean, I grew up on Atari.
Do you know that there are actor and actresses in Hollywood that make big money and all they do is voice games?
Yeah.
Characters in these games. And when my children were growing up, a night out for me was knowing that they were in front of me playing their video games, and I would be on the couch like trying to fall asleep. And I got enthralled by these video games. They're actually really interesting. I mean, you don't want to go full tilt all day, all night, but they really have come a long way since Atari.
Yeah, I mean, the interesting thing about Atari is that, there was no real dimensions to it or anything. It was just going across the screen or coming down, or I think you were alluding to Pong there with your noises, right? You know, it was so simplistic, where now you've got, like you said, this sophisticated graphics and all of it. But yeah, Atari, I always remember playing the Star Wars game when I was growing up on Atari. I just thought it was the greatest thing ever.
Well, listen, I remember we had electric football. You don't even know what that is, probably. Just a metal sheet with these little plastic football players, and you just turn it on, and it would vibrate.
Yes, I do remember that.
And it would be like, they're not going anywhere. They're going in the wrong direction. But somehow, some way, we made it work.
Yeah, somebody scored eventually. Couple more. On this day in 1985, Route 66 is officially removed from the U.S. highway system.
Now, I don't want to play the devil's advocate here, but I'm sure a lot of people probably thought Route 66 was still open, because people can travel somewhat the old route, but the original is no longer open.
Yeah, and have you ever been on Route 66?
No. Listen, I'm lucky to get on 376. I'm not going.
Great.
I'm not going Route 66.
Well, we just went out. Corey, who's our director of operations, we just headed out to Indianapolis last week to catch a Indiana Fever game, and
Did you?
Yeah, we did.
You got to see Sophie and Caitlin.
We did. It was the night that Sophie hit 6 3-pointers.
Here's the thing. She's kind of like a really physical player, and I love her. She just brings a lot to the game, and she's great social media-wise. Just such a young, bright girl. But because she plays with Caitlin Clark, the greatest who may have ever played the game, female basketball player, Sophie Cunningham's pretty good.
Oh, yeah. She is good.
She can play basketball, too.
She can shoot it. Yeah, she really can. All right, last one, and this one's very, very important because the World Cup's going on, and this record was actually beaten recently. But on this date in 2006, Ronaldo scored his 15th FIFA World Cup goal, which was a new tournament record at the time.
Do you think it's fair that they're that good and that handsome and that rich?
Well, it is what it is, bro.
I mean,
we have to just play the cards we're dealt.
When I look at him, it's like somebody took one of my sister's Ken dolls and put them on a soccer field. But that just got broken by Messi. I mean, Messi, what he's been doing, it's incredible.
Yeah, Messi, incredible start to the tournament, and he now has 18. He's the all-time leader. He actually eclipsed the 17 that Marta has for female players from Brazil.
Listen, if you're into this World Cup, tomorrow, Micah Fitz, who's the women's soccer coach at Geneva, he's been my go-to guy. 28 years of age, in like his second season. Lance, you know how much I admire your sports knowledge. And believe me, folks, if I would ever slip on a banana pill, they could plug him in and nobody would miss me. But that young man knows soccer. It's incredible the passion that these fans have.
Yeah, no, for sure. And, I've been watching, I think the U.S., I'm hoping they, can keep it going. I'd love to see them make the quarters or even the semis.
Can you imagine?
I think they have a shot. I do. They're going to have to play great soccer, but I think they have a shot.
And in this match against Turkey, or Turkey as it used to be known, they had 9 different starters in there, and they lost on a last-minute goal. Although, when you're an American, you want to win everything, so hopefully they'll rebound.
I think the big thing is you could tell, just like Christian Pulisic is a world-class player.
Yeah.
When he is on the field, you notice the talent level.
And there's talent there.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, what else you got?
So we got our trivia.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, here we go. And interestingly, I just played this game yesterday at our company event at Dave & Buster's. As we talked about, in 1972, the Atari console was created. What is the number one best-selling Atari game of all time?
If you think you know the answer, you're going to get a $15 Get-Go gas card, 412-912-1020. So give us a call right now. That's the number to dial to possibly take home a $15 Get-Go gas card. You know where we used to play these games at?
The arcades, man.
At the mall.
Yep.
All right, we're coming back. Stay with us. It's your Pratt Pack. If you think you know that trivia question, give us a call.
News, weather, traffic, and business every day. Hear it on News Radio KDKA.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell & Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. Pittsburgh and Cranberry Township. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
These are the people who make Pittsburgh work. This is Pittsburgh Works on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, 412-922-1020 if you think you know that trivia question. And, of course, the winner will get a $15 Get-Go gas card. He had a great appointment this week. He wants to talk about that. But before we do that, we want to run the seminars. And I want to remind you that these are free seminars, but you have to reserve your space. And you can do that by calling 888-818-6334. Or better yet, MediConnectInsurance.com. Click on the seminars tab. Go ahead.
Yeah, so this week, we're on June 30th. We're going to be at Imperial Lifespan on Penn Lincoln Drive in Imperial, PA at 6 o'clock. On July 7th at 6 o'clock, we're going to be at the Hampton Inn in Bell Vernon, back in my old stomping grounds on 1561 Broad Avenue, Ross Straver Township. And then on July 14th at 6 p.m., we're going to be at the Lifespan in Bethel Park on Park Avenue. I've done a bunch of events there. It's a great facility, so hopefully we'll get a bunch of people to come out as well. If you're looking to get this information, again, if you're new to Medicare in the next 12 months and you need to get the ball rolling, but you don't live near Bell Vernon or Bethel Park or Imperial and you're in our listening audience, you can always register for our webinar that runs every Wednesday at 11 o'clock and 6 p.m. You can go to MediConnectInsurance.com, go to the seminars tab, and you'll have the ability to sign up for a seminar or the webinar there.
So an interesting appointment this week.
Yeah, great appointment this week. Met with an individual, and, I think here's the thing, Rob. Sometimes, when we're talking to people, they're like, well, the Medicare thing is not that difficult to figure out. And in some circumstances, that's true. And what I mean by that is, if you're turning 65, you're not working, you don't have insurance, you're not planning on keeping working, and you just need to go to Medicare, it's not super difficult to sign up for Medicare itself. Now, picking your private insurance can be a little bit more challenging. Mm-hmm. Rob, where it gets challenging, and you know this, is when you are considering continuing working or you're going to keep working, but you're not sure if you should take Medicare's insurance or if you should keep your current insurance.
Yeah, it's been perplexing for me, but Laura ran the numbers, and she said, right now you're good, stay where you're at. So, and I highly recommend people, and I wouldn't put this off, they even though it's not an enrollment period, they do this stuff every day. Free appointment, you never pay for it. At least you know where you stand.
Yeah, so here's the two common mistakes that I see people make. The first one is they're just like, I'm working, I've got my insurance, I'm not even going to look at Medicare, right? And why is that a mistake? The reason why that can be a mistake is because about half the time, it's more cost-effective and better coverage for someone to go to Medicare. So that's why people, when they're turning 65, they should review their coverage regardless. So the first mistake you can make is just not looking at Medicare at all. The second big mistake that people make, and unfortunately we do see this, is they keep their work coverage, but they have heard if they don't sign up for Medicare, they're going to get a penalty. So then they sign up for A and B. B costs a little over $200 a month, and then they're paying for their group insurance. So they're double paying when they don't really need to. So one of the things that we really focus on, Rob, and this is what my appointment was about this past week, just talking to someone over Zoom that I worked with their family member years ago, and they were like, can you give me a little bit of time just to answer my questions? I was like, sure, I'd be happy to do that. Is figuring out if, hey, I'm going to work, but I'm not sure if I should keep my work coverage. And making that comparison is super important. So anyone listening this morning, if you're 64, almost 65, and you're kind of wondering, should I do Medicare or not, you need to do that comparison.
Andrea in Pittsburgh is our winner today of this trivia question, and here is the winning answer.
Yeah, so the number one selling Atari video game of all time, Pac-Man, which that's probably one of the most popular video games of all time.
Listen, I was bad at Pac-Man too. You were probably good at Pac-Man.
I actually was terrible at Pac-Man. Blinky and all that, I just wasn't good at. Now, the game that came out in that time frame that I really loved was Galaga. I was good at Galaga.
Just think about what we used to stare at for hours. Just little things eating one another like that. Pretty cool stuff.
Yeah.
All right, listen, I think people right now, if you're going to be 65 or if not, every year you should review. And when we are not in an enrollment period, tell folks that it is okay to call 888-818-6334 and make an appointment even as we start summer, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we're still meeting with people all the time. But, Rob, when we help someone compare, there are 4 things that we look at. And this is where people kind of don't really consider everything, because when we think about health insurance, what's the first thing we generally think about?
Health insurance?
Yes.
Money.
How much am I paying for it?
Yeah.
Like all we look at is what's it costing me monthly? And that is an important piece because it's the first thing that we look at. So like when we look at your group coverage and we look at Medicare, monthly premium is the first thing that we're looking at.
Right.
But it's not the only thing that we're looking at.
No.
The second thing we look at, because just because your work plan might be less expensive in monthly premium, doesn't mean it's necessarily a better option. And what I mean by that is do you have a deductible?
Yeah, listen, great minds think alike. And I know I'm really pushing the boundary here because you're the great mind. I'm just along for the ride. But I was just going to ask you, when you took a breath, is there such thing as a deductible in Medicare?
So that's the big thing, Rob, is a lot of the private insurance with Medicare for the health insurance, there is no deductible.
That's good news.
Where with a lot of the group plans, there are deductibles.
As much as $5,000.
Can be, yeah. And there's a lot of companies that are going to HSA plans, health savings accounts.
Right.
In order to actually qualify to be a health savings account, Rob, it has to be a high deductible plan. So if your employer is providing you with an HSA, it has to be a high deductible plan, at least $1,000 deductible. Now, I'm not saying there's not any deductibles with Medicare. If you stay with original Medicare and get a supplement, well, then your deductible's $283, right? But then you have no other out-of-pocket costs. But if you enroll in a Medicare Advantage plan, almost all of those Advantage plans have no deductible. So, like, again, let me give you a scenario. The lady that I was talking to this week, she pays $180 a month for her plan. Just to get original Medicare Part A and B, it would be $202. So at first glance, what might somebody think? I should just keep my group coverage because I only pay $180. Why pay an extra $20 a month? Well, her deductible was $3,000
with her work plan.
With her work plan.
I'm going to Medicare.
So now she has to take into account if I do have health issues, if I do need to use my coverage, if I do need to go into the hospital, then I'm going to have to pay a deductible, right? So that's the second piece. So we got premium first, we got deductible second, but we know that the second or the third thing that we have on these plans is either co-pays or co-insurance. So it's not like after I pay the deductible that generally everything's covered, Rob. If I go to my doctor, what do I have to do? To give him money usually.
Always.
Right? I've got to give him $10 or $20 or $50.
And that sign is evident. As soon as you walk in to sign up, please have your copay ready.
That's it. You got to have your copay ready. But with a lot of the group plans, Rob, it's not just copays. It's coinsurance.
Which means?
Yes. You took the next words out of my mouth that time. Coinsurance, whenever you hear that term, it's always a percentage. So on a lot of these group plans, if you have to pay 10%, 20%, 30%, that's usually the highest, 30%, but 10 and 20% are more common. That means even after the deductible, I have to pay 20 or 10 or 30% of what's left over. So say my plan has a $3,000 deductible, and then I have 10% coinsurance. I go and do something, it's $1,000, I got to pay another $100 for that. So just looking at the premium alone can be detrimental. So as I'm having this conversation with this lady on Thursday, we're just walking through this step by step, and I had her bring her benefit grid on and put it on the screen, and we're just starting to add up the numbers. And then the fourth and final thing, Rob?
What?
Maximum out of pocket. What is maximum out of pocket? Because a lot of times people get confused between deductible and max out of pocket. So I want to explain what both of these are.
Go ahead.
Deductible is what I have to pay before the plan pays anything. So that's upfront money from me. Max out of pocket is really what it sounds like. That's the maximum I have to pay out of my own pocket in a given calendar year before the plan pays everything else. So if I'm paying $180 in premium, I've got a $3,000 deductible, I've got 20%, let's say, coinsurance, and my max out of pocket is $6,000 or $7,000, which is very common. I can't just say, I'm only paying $180. My coverage is better than paying $200 for Medicare.
Listen, in most scenarios, and I have not seen it where it wasn't, Medicare trumps everyone as far as coverage goes.
If you get a supplement with your Medicare, that is incredible medical insurance. But what we find, Rob, in general, is that 50% of the time it is better to go to Medicare. 50% of the time it's better to stick with your group coverage. But here's what you need to do. You need to know how to do an apples to apples comparison. A lot of people, when they're doing it on their own, they're doing orange to apple comparisons because they're not looking at all the options.
It's got to be apple to apple.
It's got to be apple to apple.
When we come back, give them a hint about the weight loss news that they need to know. Go ahead.
This is super big. Coming up starting July 1st, there's been a lot of talk about these GLP-1s and weight loss and how they're only for diabetes. There is a new rule that has been passed and is going into place for people that have Medicare starting July 1st.
Don't miss it. We're coming back in a moment. 888-818-6334. Set up an appointment right now. Live advisor standing by until noon. Never a charge for their services at MediConnect.
In 1945, my grandparents made sausage using the finest ingredients and a lot of love. I'm Ernie Ritchie. After 80 years, the recipe never changed. Visit our store and celebrate our 80th anniversary. Ritchie's Italian Sausage. It's what Pittsburgh eats since 1945.
Are your property taxes too high? You have from July 1st until September 1st, 2026 to file an appeal of the Allegheny County Property Tax Assessment. Contact Richard Ernsberger at the law firm Barrenden Ernsberger. Call 412-391-2515 for the help you need.
Colin Dunlap on KDKA.
Okay, gas station heroin. So you hear that and you go, all right, that ain't good. Gas station heroin. A near unanimous vote, 200 to 2. It's legally prescribed as an antidepressant in some countries. It's federally unregulated in America. Think about that.
Weekdays 2 to 6 on the Voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
From the Aetna Medicare studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 65 degrees now at Pittsburgh International at 9:30. I'm Rob Taylor. 2 people have died following a crash this morning in Westmoreland County. Crash happened around 2:30 this morning in the eastbound lanes of I-76, the Pennsylvania Turnpike, on the Route 136 overpass in Hempfield Township. Right now, no word on the circumstances that led up to the crash. Stay tuned to News Radio KDK for more on this developing story. Happening today in Highland Park, our sister Whammo 107.3 teaming up with the city of Pittsburgh for the Juneteenth finale celebration and Whammo Day. Again, it's from 12 to 4 this afternoon in Highland Park, and Whammo on-air talent Kiki Jones talked to KDK Radio about the event.
Small business vendors, food trucks. There'll be activities for kids. There'll be entertainment from local artists. So families can come out, bring their blankets, their chairs, their pocketbooks so that they can support the small businesses, just basically keeping the tradition of community and family-friendly events alive. And we're just happy to partner with the city of Pittsburgh and, of course, Juneteenth.
KDK Radio News Time, 9:31. Next update to 10. I'm Rob Taylor on the Voice of Pittsburgh News Radio KDK.
Summer is here and the savings are great at Coons Market. Isn't that right, Frank Dentisi?
Right, Rob. In our meat department, 80% lean fresh ground beef is $4.99 a pound. In the produce department, sweet bicolor corn is $5 a dozen. In our deli, plain or garlic Eckrich bologna, $4.99 a pound. An additional savings this week, selected varieties of Blue Bunny ice cream, 46 to 48 ounce containers, 2 for $6.
Coons Market, a Pittsburgh tradition.
The popularity of cremation is on the rise. Unfortunately, so is the cost. I'm Dustin D'Alessandro, Supervisor and Funeral Director. To keep the costs down, the Thomas M. Smith Funeral Home and Crematory Limited in Blawnox and the D'Alessandro Funeral Home and Crematory Limited in Lawrenceville have on-site crematories. By performing the cremation on-site without losing custody of the remains, our funeral homes can defray those costs and pass the savings on to you. Our fee for a direct cremation is only $1,250. This low-cost, direct cremation offer is available to all residents of Allegheny County. Surrounding counties will incur a slight additional fee based on mileage. Contact us with questions or to schedule an appointment by calling the Blawnox office at 412-828-5700 or our Lawrenceville office at 412-682-6500. Our websites are thomasmsmithfuneralhome.com and DeLisandroLTD.com.
Been 30 time, would have been 30, no, would have been 30, being 30, been 29, if that'll help, been 29,000, being 7, 5, would have been 9, 9.
Get ready to bid on the equipment you need in the Ritchie Brothers Northeast Regional Auction on August 4th. Inventory is housed at locations in Pittsburgh, North Franklin, and Northeast Maryland, with in-person inspections available. Bid on a wide selection of construction and transportation equipment. Don't miss this great opportunity. Visit rbauction.com/Pittsburgh to sign up. Again, that's rbauction.com/Pittsburgh.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
It'll be mostly cloudy and humid today with some rain and a thunderstorm. Somehow the rain could be heavy, high up to 75. Staying humid tonight, low 66. Partly sunny tomorrow with a shower or two, high up to 80, up to 88 on Monday. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Matt Rindy, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The following is paid for by MediConnect.
These are the people who make Pittsburgh work. This is Pittsburgh Works on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, we are back. We are going to run those seminars real quick, and then we're going to get into something that I think you're going to find fascinating, and obviously it's good for everyone's health. It's trying to lose the weight, especially those of us who are older and to keep the weight off. Go ahead.
Yeah, so this week, June 30th, we're going to be at the Imperial Lifespan on 540 Penn Lincoln Drive. All these seminars that I'm about to mention are at 6 o'clock. On July 7th, we're going to be at the Hampton Inn in Bell Vernon on 1561 Broad Ave. And then on July 14th, we're going to be at Lifespan Bethel Park, 5151 Park Avenue. Fancy sounding there. And then we also have the webinars every single Wednesday at 11 o'clock and 6 p.m. You want to register for those as well.
By the way, don't forget 888-818-6334. Make the call, set it up. Remember, free seminars, but you got to reserve your space, or MediConnectInsurance.com. Simply click on the seminars tab. Look, I've gone through a weight loss transformation. You've gone through one. But the older you get, and I'm a whole lot older than you, young man, it doesn't get any easier. This is a real game changer. And remember where you heard it, here on the Inside Connection.
Yeah, I mean, this is really, really going to be big. I mean, you know, Rob, my mom passed away. We've talked about it a couple times on the show about 10 years ago. And after that happened, you know, I had lost both of my parents at that point in time. And it was kind of a difficult time for me. And, you know, I put on a bunch of weight, and, you know, I got up to, I think, 240 was my,
really?
Yeah, was my heaviest. And, you know, the thing of it is as we get older, it seems like it's super, super easy to gain it.
It's fun.
Yeah, it's fun to gain it, right? Until you start to realize, wow, I'm really gaining this much. But then it's just like the older we get, it's so much harder to lose it.
And I don't care what anyone says. The older you get, I hear this all the time from people. I'm not even eating that much. You can gain weight quickly the older you get.
You can. So, you know, kind of fast forward a little bit more to more recent history, Rob. You know, when I had my health issues back in the fall, I wasn't able to go to the gym, wasn't really able to be active much at all. I gained 14 pounds back.
That quick?
That in the period of about 4 months.
Well, that's not that quick.
No, but it felt like it to me, right? You know, because I wasn't able to do the things that I was, you know, so I you know, so now I've been working since I had the stent put in, all of that, and it's taken me almost 7 months to lose what I gained, almost twice as amount of time to lose what it took me to gain that weight.
Well, let me just tell you what he's about to tell you. It works. I know it firsthand from people, and this is going to be a game changer for the older generation trying to lose weight, and obesity is an issue with young and not so young alike. You're going to love what he has to tell you.
Yeah. So, I mean, again, and just trying to really build around this, 40% of the population struggles with obesity. The number is almost exactly the same for those that are on Medicare, 65 and older. It's 40.3 for the population in general. It's 40% for Americans 65 and older. So, and again, you can diet, you can exercise, you can do fad stuff. We've heard a lot lately about these GLP-1 medications. And again, I'm not making any medical advice today. I want to give you the financial or the health insurance impact of what's happening. But there has been a temporary approval of what's being known as the Medicare GLP-1 Bridge program. And what this means is GLP-1s generally, Rob, are designed for people with diabetes. You have to have some kind of condition that you're able to take these medications. So what they were finding is people that were diabetics, type 2 diabetics, which normally one of the main driving factors of people getting type 2 diabetes is what? It's weight gain, right?
Yeah, you're on the verge.
Yeah, too much weight gain. And diabetes 2 becomes an issue at that point in time. So they've been giving them these shots to help with the diabetes. Well, what they've found as a part of it is people are what? They're losing all kinds of weight for it.
Because they have no appetite.
Yeah, because it really does stunt the appetite. So, but the problem is you couldn't get these medications, Rob, unless you had a medically necessary reason to get them, like a chronic condition. So you couldn't get them covered just because you wanted to lose weight.
You had to have the numbers.
You had to have the numbers, or the doctor saying, you know, there's heart conditions here, there's diabetes here. You have to be able to qualify to take these medications. Well, starting July 1st, if you are on Medicare and you have a Part D prescription plan. Now, there's two ways to get your Part D prescription plan, Rob. One is through a standalone prescription plan. So if you have a Medicare supplement or just original Medicare itself and you have a Part D plan, or if you've purchased a Medicare Advantage plan that has prescription drug coverage, for the next 18 months, they're piloting this for 18 months. You don't have to have one of those existing health conditions. You just need your doctor to prescribe it for obesity, and you can get these for $50 a month copay.
Now, listen, you're much smarter than I am, but I've been with you folks for 7 years, and I've learned a lot about my own health. I think that's the reason I take better care of myself now. In the long run, all these healthcare carriers are going to be so much better off because you're going to have all these people that the older you get, you gain weight. It can cause organ damage, heart failure. It can cause kidney ailments. It can fatty liver, also inflammation, joints, hip replacements, knee replacements. If you remove that bulk, that weight is going to keep older people upright and a whole lot healthier, and that means they're not going to be going to the hospital for routine stuff. When you get older, like you fall, you break your hip, you're heavy, you have to wait until you lose weight to get your knees replaced. And we've all been there. It gets tough getting older, so this is going to benefit everybody in the long run.
I think it's going to be a huge benefit. And again, I said it once again. I'm going to say it again, just because I do think it's important. I'm not a medical person. I don't have a degree. I'm not telling you should do this. But if you're struggling with weight loss, you really want to lose weight, because we do know that if you lose weight, it's easier to be more active. Right? If it's easier to be more active, it helps you with all the things you just mentioned, Rob. But people were not able to afford this medication because if you didn't have one of those pre-existing conditions, you're talking hundreds, if not $1,000 to get these medications.
I remember the donut hole and all the things we were talking about, the price, prescriptions. You realize you lose weight. Now, not in all cases, and you got to check with your physician. Some people can get off blood pressure medicine, cholesterol medicine. So you could be saving there, too, as far as monthly copays, because you won't need certain prescriptions anymore.
For sure. So this is how it works. According to CMS, which is the Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services, which is the ruling body for Medicare, the program won't require Medicare enrollees to fill out any additional paperwork or take any further steps past getting a prescription from their doctor. So if they're overweight, they go to their doctor, they say, I want a prescription for this. The beneficiary can join the program. A medical provider must submit a prior authorization request for the prescription for one of the eligibles because it isn't on everything. Here are the medications that are going to be covered in the program: Wegovy, Zepbound, and Foundayo. So Wegovy, Zepbound, and Foundayo. If the patient begins on one of these medications and switches to another in the middle of the bridge program's duration, they would need a new prior authorization form.
Now, and I know Wegovy, but are they the same as the mainstream ones that we hear, like Ozempic and all that?
Yes.
Okay.
These ones are more aligned, at least from my understanding, Rob, for the weight loss part of the equation.
As opposed to the diabetes.
Yes. So go to your doctor. Ask for it. They have to fill out a prior authorization, approval. And again, you have to have a Medicare prescription plan for this. And then all you would do is you would pay a $50 copay.
Do you realize how many people on this information alone are going to, instead of staying on their policy that they currently have with their work, if they're working, they're going to go on Medicare in the fall?
It's going to be amazing. Now, there are a few medical parts of it that they're going to have to, the prior authorization form will ask physicians to attest that the patient does not have type 2 diabetes, moderate or severe sleep apnea, or fatty liver disease, right? So there are some things that the physician has to attest to. But this bridge program is going to provide access to these. That's really, I think, going to help a ton of people.
Yeah, but you also realize it's going to prevent people from getting diabetes.
Yes. Yeah, that's the
heart
thing.
Failure. Yeah, I mean, so everybody's going to win with this thing.
Yeah, and the monthly copay is not going to count towards their deductible or their max out of pocket, but they're still only going to pay $50 a month for the medication. So this is really, really huge opportunity, because I remember this last enrollment period. We actually had an individual that was losing his plan. He was a part of one of those plan reduction areas, and he had to go through a lot to get approved to get these types of medications. And when we were running the numbers, he was on Zepbound at the time, and it was literally hundreds of dollars a month for him to get it. And he's like, I really need this, but I can't afford it, you know? So starting July 1st, which is Wednesday, $50 copay. This is huge.
Well, here's the other thing. What this is going to do for people psychologically, because the older you get, you feel bad enough just looking in the mirror every day, because it's age, and we all age. You know, we see ourselves as 30, but in reality, we're not. But when you start losing weight, your gait gets a little bit stronger, your posture gets a little bit better. You want to be out amongst people, you want to go places.
More social.
You get more active. It's psychologically, losing weight is one of the greatest things that can happen to anybody, because believe me, during the pandemic, I was eating the floorboards.
Yeah.
And I know, you know what it's like when you gain weight. And after you worked all that time in the gym, then you gain 14 pounds, that's depressing. You're feeling a whole lot better now that you knocked that weight off.
I feel fantastic right now. It's great.
That's why MediConnect is the best. If you have any questions for Lance on this, you can call us. We're going to get our final break in. But right now, why not set up that appointment? It's free. They never charge for their services. And that number is 888-818-6334.
Every Tuesday morning at 7:20, listen for Inside Independence Health, a look at all things healthcare with the experts from Independence Health System. It's brought to you by Independence Health System. Expert care here.
For 250 years, America has been more than a place. It's been a promise, a story of courage, hope, and dreams. And through it all, local TV and radio broadcasters have been there, telling the story of America, bringing truth to light. Broadcasters tell the story of who we are and who we aspire to be. We are America's storytellers. We are broadcasters. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Toten's Diner in Wexford is open 7 days a week from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. If you want a great breakfast with big portions, this is your place for sure. With a friendly staff and Jim and Joanne Toten running the show, you feel like you're at home. Stop into Toten's Diner and see for yourself.
SchultzFord.com, 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 SchultzFord.com.
These are the people who make Pittsburgh work. This is Pittsburgh Works on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Yeah, this is the kind of stuff you get from MediConnect. This guy, he researches this stuff. He's always on the lookout for this incredible information that we bring to you every week. And this may be one that will be talked about long after the annual enrollment period. Big, big news from Lance O'Brien today. Here's Mary Ann in Shaler on the Inside Connection with Lance O'Brien and your Pratt Pack. Good morning, Mary Ann.
Hi, how you doing?
Good. What's your question?
It's not really, well, yes, it is sort of. But you know that they have a lot of lawsuits against those weight loss programs right now that they're doing with Ozempic and all the ones that are fake like that. If you look it up, they're causing hair loss in women. They're causing eyesight problems. They're causing abdominal problems and stuff like that. And you're kind of pushing that product for people to get when they're on Medicare and that.
Well, that's why one of the things I said twice, and I totally respect
We're not
what
physicians.
you're saying is I'm not a physician, right? So like I don't study all the tests. I just know that there's people out there that really want to be able to lose weight and can't do it any other way. But yes, you are 100% correct. You should always consult a physician and consider all of the other potential aspects of actually taking any prescription. 100% agree with you on that.
Yeah, good stuff, Mary Ann. Thanks. But here's the thing. That's why you need a physician, that you need a prescription. And I know as many people, she may say, have heard bad that have actually had great results with it. So you have to have that most important part of this entire thing, and that's the physician being involved. They may say you don't need that much weight to lose, or that's a good idea.
Yeah, let's think about it this way. Every time that you're sitting in your house and you turn the TV on and there's any kind of a prescription, let's not even talk about the ones I just was talking about that are more affordable now. And that was really the big point I was trying to make is I'm not necessarily pushing if people should take these. I'm just saying if they need to and the doctor says it's okay, they're now going to be more affordable. But you can't listen to any commercial on prescriptions. You can't get any prescription prescribed without learning about what? potential side effects.
That's everything.
Every medication has potential side effects.
And certain people handle things differently. Look, it was what I was talking about today with the measles cases on the rise.
Yeah.
You know, people getting away from vaccines, COVID. Some people, I was in for it. I got all of them. Other
Yes.
people don't want to. You have to consult your physician. And that's one of the things that they say in all those commercials, along with the disclaimer, consult your physician first.
Yeah, you have to weigh the benefits to the potential side effects.
And here's the other thing, Lance. With all due respect, if it wasn't really working mainstream across the board, you wouldn't be talking about it. You wouldn't be seeing all these ads, and you wouldn't be seeing companies saying that they're not making 4XL shirts anymore.
Yeah, there's certainly, I mean, with anything we take, and again, I don't want to get lost in this, you know, because again, I do think Marianne had a valid point. I'm not going to dispute that at all. Like, again, I take medications. I have to be aware of the side effects of all those
With every
medications.
medication.
Is it going to provide more positive for me than harm for me is really the big question. I just want people to know that maybe have wanted to use them, their doctor has wanted to use them, but they haven't been able to afford them. So they haven't. There is a pathway to more affordability for them.
All right, so let me ask you, where are we right now as far as someone getting ready to sign up for the first time? Should they be doing a little due diligence now? Because believe me, you're going to want to set up an appointment, or can they set up an appointment for the fall right now?
Oh, they can set up an appointment at any time, right? We got the live advisors this morning. If they're turning 65 in a year and they just, you know, they're like, well, I'm not a seminar person. I just want to talk to someone. They can set up a one-on-one appointment. We'll review all the information. But again, I highly recommend, just because of all the years and the thousands, literally thousands of people that we've assisted with this, is 64 is a really great time to start, because there are financial implications about how much money you make. You need to understand your timeline. You need to be able to make your comparison so that you're really in a position where you get to that time frame and you really already know exactly what you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. So a lot of good news today on the program, a lot of good information, things that you need to know. And even though we're months away from the annual enrollment period, it'll be here before you know it. Do you think this is going to be a little more active than most? Because we kind of got a flavor of that the last time, because there's a lot of things that aren't there anymore. And the question is, will we get more than we had last time? I guess we're going to have to wait and see. But how do you see this thing shaping up?
Honestly, Rob, I'm super curious, because we haven't seen anything yet, right? Like, we haven't seen new plan designs.
And we're not allowed to talk about it until a certain date.
Yeah,
anyway.
I couldn't talk about it till October 1st anyway. But normally, like, again, we know what the final notice said, that the reimbursement was not as much as they were hoping for, right? So there's some limitation there on that, but they changed some of the risk scores. I think this is what I think is going to happen.
Okay.
I think we're going to see some increases to premiums on the Medicare Advantage plans. And when I say increases, if somebody has a plan now that's $20, it could be $35 next year. I think we might see some of the zero plans go away. Med sup prices continue to go up. So medical supplements.
Oh, okay.
So Medigap plans, so like Plan Gs, Plan Fs, Plan Ns, excuse me, those plans, they start going up more and more. So I think we're going to see some rising premiums, and I think we might see a little bit of an improvement on the copays this year.
Which is a good thing.
A lot of what's happened over the last couple of years has been the insurance company trying to adjust to the Part D prescription legislation that was put in place, and trying to figure out a way to afford that, essentially. So that's really where the change has come.
Well, one thing is for sure, this is all you do at MediConnect, whether it's the enrollment period or not. Throughout the calendar year, you have a great staff. Obviously, you're being educated every single day on the latest nuances, things that you need to stay in focus. I didn't realize you got tested every year.
Oh, every single year. And so we have to take the main test, which is AHIP, right, on all the rule changes and things like that. But then, Rob, for every single carrier that we represent, which is 20, 30, we have to pass a test with them as well about the new changes to their specific plans. That's how we get so knowledgeable about the ins and outs of all the plans. And then beyond that, Rob, beyond that test, we then have to go to what they call rollout meetings, where at those rollout meetings, you're hearing from the people that work specifically for those carriers, and they're going through, usually in a 2-hour session, all the ins and outs of the changes specifically that are coming. So Medicare has been very interesting over the last 10 years. We saw what I call the golden age of Medicare, which I think was about 2017 to 2023, where the premiums kept dropping and the benefits kept increasing. I mean, doesn't get any better than that, right? When it comes to health insurance, if the premiums come down, so imagine. Let me say it this way: imagine if the car prices for 6 years straight came down, but all the bells and whistles got better.
I'd be buying a new car.
Yeah, there you go. Every year you'd be excited about. So we went through that for about 6 years. Well, 24, 25, we started to see some of that start to shift. I think we're in one more year where there's shift, but it's not going to be as much as the last 2 years, and then I'm really hoping things level out.
You know, when I think about where we have come just in the time that we've known each other, it's amazing. It's nonstop. And you guys are basically like sponges every single day. When you get to the office in the morning, there's always something new.
Well, there is. And again, a lot has changed. I mean, when we first started doing this show 7 years ago, we had, I think, 7 or 8 agents. Now we're over 30. When we get into this enrollment period, we're going to be at probably 40. We didn't have the client experience department that my wife started and Lauren's been building out over the last couple of years. That has been a huge help for our client base and getting assistance. So yeah, a lot has changed. We're always just continuing to find out what are more and more ways that we can help people in the Pittsburgh region and beyond with Medicare.
All right, let's run these seminars again. I want to remind you, 888-818-6334. They are free, but you have to reserve your space. He'll give you the information about the webinars every week. And you can also register for these free seminars by going to MediConnectInsurance.com and clicking on the seminars tab.
Yeah, so June 30th at 6 p.m., we're going to be at Imperial Lifespan on 540 Penn Lincoln Drive in Imperial. On July 7th at 6, we'll be at the Hampton Inn in Bell Vernon on 1561 Broad Avenue. And then on July 14th at 6, we'll be at Lifespan Bethel Park, 5151 Park Avenue. We do run the webinars every single Wednesday at 11 a.m., 6 p.m. Rob, we're usually getting somewhere between 300 and 400 people a week that are registering for those webinars across not only Pennsylvania, but about 15 other states. So, I mean, when it comes to Medicare education, that's our expertise. That's our bread and butter. We make this process incredibly simple.
You do. Lance, look, it was good. I've been seeing you a lot lately.
Yeah, you have. That's a good thing, right?
That's a great thing. All right, again, here's that number, 888-818-6334. And just because the show is ending, we have those advisors until 12 noon. 888-818-6334. Set up an appointment. Never a charge for their services. That's 888-818-6334. Andy's coming back with Paul and Mike. It's the True Value Home Improvement Show still to come. AAA Essentials, talking travel as well. So stay where you're at. Your Pratt Pack till 1 o'clock today on KDKA. 888-818-6334. That's 888-818-6334. MediConnectInsurance.com.
The preceding was paid for by MediConnect. Information on the program is intended to solely further the public's general knowledge about the product. Opinions expressed should not be relied upon for any purpose by any member of the audience. News Radio KDKA does not guarantee the accuracy of any of the information heard on the preceding program.
The Big K Morning Show with Larry Richards.
Are you smarter than an anchor man? And we have Joe from Penn Hills as a lifeline for me. Joe, what do you like? A, B, C?
Oh, I like the Super Mario. Is that A?
I'm going with you, Joe. You're my lifeline.
The answer was B, Incredibles 2.
Come on, Joe.
Weekday mornings 5:30 to 10 on the Voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
The Village at St. Barnabas, the perfect place for mom.
In Pittsburgh, Chase is proud to root for the home team because they're our team too. We cheer from the bleachers and on the sidelines. We cheer for gymnasts and quarterbacks. And with more than 25 local Chase branches and 5,000 nationwide, we are right beside you, Pittsburgh. Neighborhood bankers, digital tools, national strength. Chase, make more of what's yours.
JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Don't miss the Pittsburgh Music Festival, July 11th and 12th at Pittsburgh Brewing Company in Creighton, featuring Joe Grishecki and the House Rockers, Billy Price Band, Norman Nardini, The Gathering Field, and more. Benefiting Band Together Pittsburgh and Autism Pittsburgh. Presented by Pittsburgh Brewing Company and U.S. Steel. Tickets at pittsburghmusicfestival.com.
The Colorectal Cancer Alliance wants you to know a lot of things in life are preventable. Ooh, gas station sushi. That's preventable. And even colon cancer can be preventable if you get screened. If you're 45 or older, talk to your doctor. Go to colorectalcancer.org to learn more.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
KDKA and KDKA-FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Medicare studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 67 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 10 o'clock. I'm Rob Taylor. 2 people have died following a crash this morning on the Pennsylvania Turnpike. This happened around 2:30 this morning in the eastbound lanes of I-76 near the Route 136 overpass in Hempfield Township. Still working to learn exactly what led to the incident. Again, 2 people have died after an early morning crash in Westmoreland County on the Pennsylvania Turnpike. Charges of homicide were held for court on a 16-year-old accused of killing a 19-year-old in Market Square back in May. A district judge made that decision Friday after a hearing in which prosecutors outlined some of the details that led to the shooting. Prosecutors alleged 16-year-old Bajan Dave Dankins fired 4 shots at 19-year-old Terrell Little, striking Little twice before Dankins fled. A Pittsburgh police officer testified that he began performing first aid on Little, who was found in a pool of blood near the Chipotle. Police also say that Dankins had violated his house arrest 4 months prior to the shooting by cutting off his ankle bracelet. Well, the city's Department of Parks and Recreation will honor Juneteenth and African American Heritage today with the finale, and it's hosted by the City of Pittsburgh and WAMO, our sister station, WAMO 107.3. The event will include lots of family-friendly fun from noon to 4 at Highland Park, and at 3 o'clock, the festivities will recognize WAMO on-air host Kiki for her lasting impact and contributions to this city. Kiki talked with KDKA Radio about why she feels honored to be recognized in that way.
I'm just doing what I'm known to do, like through my family, my grandmother, my father. We've just been a family that gave back to the community. And since being with WAMO since I was in my early 20s, I'm not in my 20s now, but it's just something that I've learned to do is give back and serve my community.
KDK Radio News Time, it's 10:02. It's time to visit RomeMonuments.com. Life is a journey to remember. Memorialize that journey, RomeMonuments.com. The AccuWeather forecast next.
When it comes to family law, a lot has changed in recent years, so assumptions can be costly. If you see or sense a change coming in your family life that could have legal implications, it's important to know where you stand. Getting good legal advice early is never a bad idea. I'm Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. If you or anyone you know is facing a family law issue, start with a consultation. Visit CordellCordell.com.
Pittsburgh and Cranberry Township. Joseph Cordell. Licensed in Missouri and Illinois only.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
It will be mostly cloudy and humid today with some rain and a rumble of thunder, high up to 75. Clear to partly cloudy and humid tonight, low down to 66. Partly sunny tomorrow with a passing shower or 2, high up to 80. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Matt Riddy, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It's time for the KDKA Home Improvement Hour with the guys from True Value. KDKA's Home Improvement Hour is an informational program sponsored by True Value. The information featured is intended solely to further the public's general knowledge about home improvement. Individual home improvement should be referred to your personal contractor. This is 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Yes, it is the True Value Home Improvement Show. Paul is here, R.C. Walters and Son. Of course, Mike Broniszewski, Sarver True Value Rental. And is there an echo in here? Well, he was here just a few hours ago. He is Andy Amrine, Mr. True Value, with that giant tent sale. Pennies on the dollar begins July 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Andy, you begin part 2.
Yay, thank you, Rob. Yeah, I was here at 7 o'clock with you and had a great show. Had a lot of interaction about the Harmony and how Harmony's on sale this week at your participating True Value stores. If you want to learn about the products, call and ask, or you can go to harmonyoic.com. And, it's on sale online also, but please, we want you to visit the stores. But it was a great hour talking about Harmony and Sniper and Knockout and some of the specialty products that are available at your True Value stores. And what we like to do, we like to find the different, unique, but very effective products, and that's where Harmony comes in. It's an amazing product for fleas and ticks. As the customers who were asking the questions the first hour, and I've talked to my staff since I've been hanging out here since 7 o'clock, and the store has been nonstop with phone calls and visitors asking about more details about, Harmony and the regular Harmony, the Harmony for gardens, and the new one, the mosquito spray. How that mosquito spray is just revolutionizing the way that we combat mosquitoes by just spraying it around your yard or your patio furniture or your deck area, and it keeps the mosquitoes away for weeks on end. So some great products that are available at your True Value stores. And yeah, we're coming up on July 4th next week and next Saturday, and it's always an exciting weekend for the stores, but also this week leading up to it. Everyone who wants to get all those chores done before July 4th, so next Saturday, Sunday, they could relax and enjoy their Broil King grills, enjoy their barbecues, enjoy their hot dogs, or as Rob likes, he likes his fried bologna on his grill instead of his hot dogs. But it's all one in the same, isn't it, Rob?
Yes, it is.
But you look very dapper in your True Value hat
I took
now.
Paul's. I actually stole it off of him because I just wanted to wear it. I haven't had it for a while.
You want to feel part of the team.
Listen.
Let's see the blisters from the hammers and the saws and the lawnmowers.
Listen, I shook a guy's hand the other day. It felt like 2-aught sandpaper. And I said, you don't have to tell me what you do for a living. But he loves what he does, man.
Yep, absolutely. I love what I do. I know you enjoy what you're doing, and that's the whole nature of the beast here. Just enjoy what you're doing,
well, listen,
and it doesn't
I alluded
matter.
to this early today, gentlemen, so I'm coming into work, and I'm like, here we go again, another marathon weekend, up at 2 a.m., in bed at 11:30, a little cranky, but I love what I do. And right up the road here, Holiday Drive, there was a crew out in a torrential rainstorm. I mean, like a monsoon with a backhoe, busting concrete, directing traffic, and I went, life's pretty good, and I wanted to give them all a big shout out for the work they were doing today here in Green Tree.
I saw their finish now, but I saw the patchwork and everything on the road there.
It was raining horrible, and they didn't stop, man.
Yeah, it's been amazing the amount of construction going on from small projects that folks are doing to large projects. It just seems to be everywhere right now, and certainly we're True Value rental lovers into that. It's been a big help, and we offer that very unique situation where you can get everything you need all in one stop when you're doing rental, whether it's in the EV store or up in Sarver. All you need is all at one place. It makes life much more efficient to check out your rental.
Buy what you want, what you need. Though.
Absolutely.
Well, see, PennDOT's actually been working on me lately, so they're actually sliding me back into place, just like that bridge. Think about that bridge, guys.
Wow.
As much
Did you
as
see the mechanism that slides
listen, guys, I saw this on the electronic signs today. This is how great they are. That's going to be done like in a month.
Yeah.
I mean, that's phenomenal when you think about it.
It's all the prep work they're putting into it.
So they probably have stopped at a hardware store like True Value to pick up a few nuts and bolts.
Absolutely.
But hey, Rob, we got to talk.
We delivered to the job site.
Never a dull day in the hardware world, but boy, this week is throwing us another curveball, right? We've got all this rain this weekend, right? And we've had a pretty normalized spring already, so now the ground's going to be wet. Now we're going to have that heat come in. Everything is going to start growing like mad. Not only your lawn, but weeds will be growing now as well. So we're starting to get a lot of weed questions. We got me and Eddie took some last week, how to do this weed, that weed, how you attack things, because right now we're going to see this week with the heat and the ground temperatures being all wet really level up and see things grow. So there's going to be a lot of issues doing that. So we can certainly take calls on weeding or lawn or anything like that.
And also when you get into the water and then into the heat, that's when we start seeing all the fungus, Mike. Whether it's on the evergreens, whether it's on the regular plants, your rose bushes, whether it's into your different flowers, whether it's into your grass. That's when we're going to start seeing the red thread and different fungicides coming into the yard itself. So you really got to be cautious and observant. I don't want to say cautious, but more observant as far as what you're doing and what you're doing outside. Take a look at things, whether it's, Rob has to seal his concrete here coming up in a week. So we'll be getting in some UGL dry lock for the concrete and a tank sprayer and teaching him what to do to seal his concrete, to taking care of those yards or the fungicide or, the first hour of the show we did from 7 o'clock, it was all about bugs. But people are really concerned about fleas and ticks, that's for sure. And I'm sure, Paul, out your way, you're getting a lot of the same type questions Mike and I are.
Well, the ticks are always a big problem. I mean, I've seen ticks in areas where you would not think you would see them. You think, hey, you're out in the woods, that's where you're going to get the ticks, or you're out fishing by the water, it's where you're going to get the ticks. You can get ticks in your garden. Mm-hmm. I mean, they are everywhere. If there's any type of wild animals in your area other than possums, there's ticks. And everyone, hey, possums look ugly and they look mean and they look vicious, but they actually go out and eat ticks and they're immune to rabies. So they're something of unusual little character.
I never.
Possums are unique.
Possums are unique. They are immune. They do not get rabies. They are one of the few animals that does not get rabies, and they also enjoy eating ticks. They will actually go into an area that is saturated with ticks just to eat the ticks. They'll walk through an area to get the ticks on their fur just so they can eat them off. It is really weird of a critter like that, but that is what's so special about them. People say, "Oh, I don't want them in my garden," they got a huge mouth on them. They look very menacing. They don't want anything to do with you.
Nah.
I mean, they will get in your garbage can. They will get root through your garbage. They will get in your compost pile. I'm not going to say they won't, but they eat the ticks.
I never knew that. That's amazing.
Yeah.
All right, 866-391-1020, number to dial to be on the show. Mike, let's hit some sale items at Sarver and all these great True Value
Yeah,
stores.
absolutely. A lot of your stores do the bargains of the month, so that's still going on. We got the Cowboy Charcoal on sale for just $17.99. Look to Green Thumb. Anything Green Thumb is a great high-quality product. We've got a Green Thumb 10-pattern sprayer for just $7.99. And we got that Flexzilla garden hose is on sale this month at all your local True Value hardware stores, but TrueValue.com, you can find your nearest True Value store, but the ones that help out with the True Value Home Improvement Hour every hour on Saturday for the last 28 years on KDKA. Stores like Daniel's Discount and Appliance True Value, Pifer True Value Hardware and Supply, of course, Paul's Store, R.C. Walters & Sons True Value, Slippery Rock True Value Hardware, of course, Evie True Value Hardware, and Sarver True Value Hardware.
All right, good stuff. Let's go. 866-391-1020. So this is the last weekend before. Quick projects that I can get done, and they'll look spectacular by the 4th of July.
Well, you remember you want to take care of all your outdoor stuff. Make sure your patio furniture's clean. Don't forget your wet and forget to clean your patios. Make sure your grill's ready for any barbecuing you do outside. All those types of things need done for you in the next, this weekend. I mean, it's weekend to do it. I mean, you got next week, and if you're going to have any type of party going on for the 4th of July, you're going to get outside and enjoy the weather, and you want to make sure that stuff's clean and ready to go.
It is, Rob. This will be a busy week at the stores. A lot of people take this whole week off, not just July 4th itself. So it's extended holidays for people. And, some people go away, but a lot of people are just stay at home and get the chores done. So a lot of deck sealing, a lot of deck cleaning, a lot of patio furniture stuff, getting the grills ready, but also taking care of the yard and the driveways. And it's just all one big chore. So,
well, one thing that's not a chore, but it is a labor of love, and that's the tent sale.
It is. Tent sale is, we've been doing the tent sale over 25 years, and pennies on the dollar. It's when we get rid of all our excess inventory, one-of-a-kind inventory. But they started setting up yesterday, Rob. So we're really excited for next Friday, Saturday, Sunday will be the tent sale, but it'll take them that long to get everything together. So pennies on the dollar, every department, plumbing, electrical, lawn and garden, power equipment, tools, everything.
You know, you're competing for my job, Paul. I think you do more videos than I do, but good stuff. So talk about some of the things happening at your store.
Well, so what we have going on, I know, Andy, you have your tent sale going on next weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I actually have a huge store sale starting on Monday. We have all kinds of lawn and garden furniture, tables, grills, chairs, you name it. We have that all on clearance. We have a lot of one-of-a-kind items also that we're going to have on sale. We got some plumbing items I know they're going to be out there. I've got some specialty charcoals and things like that. All kinds of good stuff. Stop on down. We got some really, really good prices, and it's going to go from Monday until Saturday. We are going to be open on Saturday from 9 to 2, which is unusual for us. We've always been closed on the 4th of July. We're going to be open this 4th of July from 9 to 2.
All right. 866-391-1020. We've got Lily. We got Mark. We've got room for you. All your calls moments away. True Value Home Improvement Show, KDKA.
Your source for everything that's news. Hear it on News Radio KDKA.
Hey, folks, appliances are big purchases. Mistakes can quickly become expensive. That's why I recommend Voss TV and Appliance. Family owned since 1960. Pittsburghers have trusted Voss for decades because they do right by people. The Voss family and their entire team are experts who know appliances and TVs inside and out and provide helpful advice before, during, and after your purchase. Shop Voss's South Hill showroom. Go to VossTV.com or call 412-650-VOSS. Voss TV and Appliance. The lowest prices, guaranteed.
Life's best moments start with perfect choices. For Connie Nowak, it was a trolley ride and a 67-year love story. A life of family, smart decisions, and companionship with Chester the cat. Her retirement choice, the village at St. Barnabas. Recreation, healthcare, close to family, everything on her list. Plus, it's an exceptional retirement value with a flexible entry process and affordable rates. St. Barnabas Retirement Communities, stbarnabascommunities.com, or call 724-444-5568.
Zero Res wants to help you clean your home. Big summer savings with 3 rooms cleaned starting at $139 and $599 per system for air duct cleaning. Visit ZeroResPGH.com and ask for the KDKA special.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
The Home Improvement Hour with the guys from True Value.
All right, 866-391-1020, number to dial. Here's Lily. Lily, you're on the air. Welcome to the show. Good morning.
Hi. Hey, guys, I need something for weeds, and I mean weeds for the entire yard. Yeah, I mean, I'm sick of them. I don't care about the bugs. I need it for, like, the entire yard. I'd like to use one of those spreaders. I don't want to,
You want a granular, not a liquid.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll need enough for, let's see, what would a suburban yard be? About a third of an acre, I guess.
A third of an acre, you'd be able to
typical.
do 5,000 square feet.
Oh,
And
don't give me that square feet thing. I'm not
I know. Well, a third of an acre that you need one bag of granular product
One
should
bag.
take care
Okay.
of the area you have. Now, the one thing to realize on a weed killer, it's critical how you use it and when you use it. So I want this time of year, because this coming week we're going to be at 90-degree weather. I want you to use a weed killer that does not have any fertilizer in it. So do not go out and just buy a bag of weed and feed, because on weed and feed, the feed part is going to have a high nitrogen, and with 90 degrees, you're going to end up killing all your grass. So do not get a weed and feed. Just get a bag of weed killer. The number one on the market is made by Jonathan Green. They make a very good weed control product. It'll be in a yellow bag, but it's just a weed killer only that does not have the fertilizer in it. Now, how I want you to use it is I want you to plan around a day where it's not going to rain for 24 hours. And I want you to get up early and apply the product when the yard is still moist, so there's still dew on the ground.
That's what I thought.
So get yourself out of bed at 6 o'clock in the morning and
I'm
go
up at 5. That's okay.
and go walk around the yard where the grass is moist, and the weed killer is going to be applied, and the moisture is going to let the weed killer stick to the weeds itself. And then as the sun comes up, and the plant opens up, it's going to be sticking to those weeds, and it'll kill the weeds from the top down. So keep your pets off the yard for that day, for that 24 hours, and then by the next day, that weed killer is going to be absorbed into the plants and always going to be good, and you're going to kill the plants without hurting the grass. So you do it this way, you're going to kill your weeds in your yard without hurting the grass, even if it's 90 degrees that day.
Now, do I do it after I cut the grass, or?
I don't want the grass to be super high, but I don't want the grass to be super low. So in between.
What are you doing next Tuesday, Andy?
Now I got a full boat on Tuesday. I'll be all morning. I'll be down in the Squirrel Hill area working on patios.
I was going to call your wife and rent you out.
Well, there you go. Good luck. She would probably rent me out real cheap, but the grass should be maybe about 3 inches. About 3 inches.
Okay.
You want to make sure the weeds are there and not cut down, so the weed killer has stuff to kill. So give it about a 3-inch, and you'll be good. You could do this. This isn't hard.
Okay. I want to. I'm sure I could. Throw that around. I wanted to ask you on your sale. Do you have battery lawnmowers on sale?
Yes.
Onto your tent?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And actually, we put if you don't want to wait for the tent sale, when it comes to our tent sale, when the tent goes up, our big ticket stuff, like the lawnmowers and the grills, go on sale the day went up. So we have tent sale pricing on our battery lawnmowers. They started yesterday. So you're going to be able to get 3 choices of battery-powered lawnmowers. We have Echo and we have Toro, and they start at, if you're sitting down, they start at $249, including the batteries.
I am sitting down.
Yes,
okay.
that's more than half. That's more than half off the price of the lawnmowers.
One battery, right? One battery, that is for.
Correct.
Right? You get one battery.
Correct.
Okay. Okay. All right, then. Thank you very much.
Stop out, take a look.
My weeds will not thank you, but I thank you.
They'll be gone.
Okay. Have a good day.
Sure.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for calling.
So, Mike, do you think Lily was a little smitten with Andy over there?
I think so. I mean, me and Paul are over here just sitting there. Well, a lot of people are. So I've got Rob. You know, me and you both know it's been 28 years, and I know people are smitten over Andy. I've gotten used to it.
Yeah, but Eddie has the voice.
That's why my mom all the time.
She's
like,
Eddie
my favorite is Eddie. I think he's the best. I'm like, oh, thanks, Mom.
The only hour my dad ever listened to me on the radio was when Andy was on. My dad loved him.
I miss your dad, too.
Yeah, me too. Here's Mark. Mark, you're up next on KDKA. How are you?
Hey, good morning, guys. First time caller, long time listener.
Thank
man.
you.
You're an icon, Mark Pratt and True Valley. Hey, quick question. Japanese knotweed. All right, it's everywhere. So what's the most cost-effective way to not eradicate but kind of maintain and keep it under control with eventually pushing it back off your property?
Oh, that's a hard one. That is a real hard one.
It is. But, it's something that if you're diligent at it, you can control it. There's some special weed control products that will help you maintain it from creeping into the yard. And these are weed killers. They're oxalic killers. You're going to be items that are in the purple label bottles, whether it's Ortho or Bonide. Bonide makes it a Weed Beater Ultra is the name that they put on theirs. Ortho, it's called a chickweed clover killer. And the chemical that they use in those bottles will help control yours, but it's something you're never going to win and completely kill. You're just going to help it maintain itself. The only way to win would be to sterilize the soil itself, and then you're having dirt for a year before you would actually have a chance of actually killing it. If you're willing to do that and have dirt, then it would be other conversations. But without destroying your yard and everything else around the knotweed, it's just a matter of using the higher strength specialty weed killers without hurting the yards and the ornamental shrubs and flowers and everything else around it. So I'm not sure which way you want to go about it, but the special weed killers are going to help you control what it is that you're doing.
Also, the other thing there is you want to make sure is once you get that weed control on there and you start pushing it back, you will see as it grows back, it gets smaller and smaller and smaller. Keep up with it. Keep up with the weed whacker. Whack those weeds down. Keep up with it. You can't just do it one time and forget about it. It's something you have to do a constant maintenance to maintain that distance back. I have that problem at my store because I'm right on a creek. It comes up over the hill. It's very difficult to keep out of our, it grows through the freaking asphalt. I mean, that stuff will grow through anything. But it's something you have to keep up with. Once you push it back, keep up with it. Keep it cut down because it grows so fast.
Yeah, what about if you were to dig it up? I know that sometimes agitates it and it grows in other dry zones. It's very hard. So the most cost-effective way would be to cut, remove, spray.
Okay.
I've been told to put other plants in its way to kind of combat it, and that's another way to push it back.
Well, I mean, if you're looking to cut it and dig it and put up with dirt for a while, truthfully, the best way I've ever had in controlling it is treating the dirt with rock salt. Your rock salt is your regular road salt. Take rock salt, dilute it in hot water, about 25 pounds, and then 3 gallons of water, and mix it up and douse the soil, and it'll be absorbed into the roots of the plant, and it will kill the plant, but it'll kill everything else in that soil, and that soil is going to be sterilized for about 6 to 8 months. So if you're willing to do that, and you want to get a jump start on, and you don't mind looking at dirt, the rock salt's going to do it. But to have the rock salt work, the plant needs to be a living plant, and it has to be absorbed into the roots of the plant itself. So do that prior to cutting them down and digging them out, because you want the roots of the plant to absorb the water laced with the rock salt.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Have a great day, guys.
Good luck.
All right, let's keep those calls coming. 866-391-1020. So what else would be nice to pick up at your store this coming week heading into the holiday, Paul?
Well, like I said before, we have all kinds of clearance items on that we're going to have. I mean, you have the Toro and the lawn equipment. I have some Makita battery-operated stuff we're trying to move out. Mm-hmm. So I have a bunch of that on sale, whether it's the gas-powered power heads or the electric power heads or the attachments or the battery-powered mowers made by Makita. I have all those on clearance this week. I mean, so these are all good things we're going to have for you coming up for this next week or so.
Michael.
Hey, how about the Zevo Inside Insect Trap? That's that ultraviolet trap.
Really well.
Oh,
really effective. Of course, it works on anything flying around, and certainly the little gnats that we have a lot of problems with. There's other products that we like as well, but the Zevo lighted 24, it works 24 hours a day, too, 7 days a week. So it's a great little time.
And just remember, the darker the room is, the better it works.
Yeah. And we're getting into a lot of the bee sprays now, so a lot of people are asking about the yellow jacket nests in the ground and so forth. And, when you're trying to handle bees, whether they're the carpenter bees or the hornets or the mud wasps or so forth, don't forget about the powders, because the powders, they work very, very well, especially when you're dealing with the bees, the yellow jackets that are in the ground itself.
Yes, ground bees.
The powder is the most effective way for treating them.
All right, we're going to take a break. We'll come back. Hey, more of your calls. We got available space on the phone lines. Anything on your mind in the way of home improvement heading into that 4th of July holiday. And, of course, Andy's Big 10 sale Friday, Saturday, Sunday, July 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Pennies on the dollar. EV True Value out there in Bethel Park. Number again, 866-391-1020.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WebNow1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
Are your property taxes too high? You have from July 1st until September 1st, 2026 to file an appeal of the Allegheny County Property Tax Assessment. Contact Richard Ernsberger at the law firm Barrenden Ernsberger. Call 412-391-2515 for the help you need.
It's Marty Griffin. I have seen so much anger these days. You know what's overwhelmed me with joy and optimism? This Get Marty. The folks in this community that have stepped up. You can't help your neighbor if you hate your neighbor. Get Marty epitomizes that opportunity to help people, feed people, clothe people, educate people. If you need me, get Marty at KDKRadio.com. It's where we will find a way to help you.
Presented by UPMC Health System, Phil DeLuceni and Associates, Cousins Roofing, Siding and Decks, and by Harold Shepley and Associates. From the Aetna Medicare Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 70 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 10:30. I'm Rob Taylor. 2 people have died following a crash this morning on the Pennsylvania Turnpike in Westmoreland County. This crash happened around 2:30 this morning in the eastbound lanes of I-76 near the Route 136 overpass in Hempfield Township. Still working to learn the circumstances that led to the crash. An Armstrong County woman facing theft by unlawful taking, receiving stolen property, and other charges after investigators say she stole almost $300,000 from a refrigeration company she used to work for. The DA's office says 34-year-old Ashley Apperson of West Leechburg stole from the Ventec refrigeration company in Penn Hills between January of last year and May of this year. The DA's office says nearly 90 non-payroll checks that were unauthorized by the business were issued to Apperson. Prosecutors allege Apperson also made unauthorized purchases on a company credit card. Police say Apperson admitted to using some of the funds for online gambling. She faces a preliminary hearing in early July. KDK Radio News Time, 10:31. Our next update's at 11. I'm Rob Taylor on the Voice of Pittsburgh, News Radio KDK.
When it comes to affordable term life insurance, everyone's whistling the Big Lou tune. If you're over 50, maybe a bit porky, or have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost about $200 a month. Even if you're not in perfect health, call Big Lou, because he specializes in finding big chunks of affordable term life insurance for just about everyone. Don't let diabetes or other health glitches keep you from owning $500,000 to $1 million or more of term life insurance. For affordable term life insurance, call Big Lou. Don't hesitate. Call 800-700-6898, 800-700-6898, or visit biglou.com.
Call Big Lou, don't hesitate, 800-700-6898. Call Big Lou, don't hesitate, 800-700-6898. Visit biglou.com.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
It'll be mostly cloudy and humid today with some rain and a thunderstorm. Somehow the rain could be heavy, high up to 75. Staying humid tonight, low 66. Partly sunny tomorrow with a shower or two, high up to 80, up to 88 on Monday. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Matt Rindy, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The following program is paid for by True Value.
The Home Improvement Hour with the guys from True Value.
All right, here we go. 866-391-1020.
We teach all the time, Rob. We just keep teaching.
I love it. Little business 101 here during the commercial break. Here's Nancy in Arnold. She joins us on KDK. Hi, Nance.
Hi. Gee, thanks for taking my call. Okay, my problem is I have a wasp nest, one of those honeycomb-shaped things attached to a wood frame around my garage door.
Okay.
How can I get rid of that? I mean, because every time I open or close the garage door, something flies out of it.
I bet
well,
they do.
Yeah, well, the good news is these hornet and wasp sprays, are really, really, really effective. If you've ever haven't used a can of hornet and wasp spray, they propulsion out in a great fashion. They'll shoot up to 22 feet. It gives you an idea of the power that's inside these cans.
Okay.
So basically the key is with any hornet and wasp nest, you want to wait until like dusk when the sun's going down. That's typically when they're back in the nest and a little bit more docile. And basically you stand within 20 feet away in a nice safe area. You open up the can and you just release the can and you drain it. And it's an immediate knockdown. As soon as it touches them, it's a knockdown. So you just continue to saturate the nest. And what I do, and I just don't stop, right? You know what I mean? I don't really care if I empty that particular can. You just empty that can out. Now, we do talk about it. There's just two general different types of hornet and wasp sprays. One is a straight unit one. The other one is a foaming one. The foaming works really good when a nest is in the ground or behind a crevice or behind a wall where you're shooting into a particular spot where you need it to foam up behind there. But if you could see a nest, a hornet and wasp nest, all you need is a straight up Green Thumb makes an excellent hornet and wasp spray. And
okay, what's it called again?
Green Thumb. Yeah. Green Thumb's a great product line. They make amazing products. It's one of it probably is our most favorite product line of hand tools and lawn and garden equipment as well as hose end stuff. It's called Green Thumb. And and their hornet and wasp spray is excellent.
Okay, I shouldn't knock it down then.
No.
You could do that after you spray it, and the next day or so.
I spray it, I can
after you
knock it
spray
down.
it, then go back 24 hours later, and then you could knock it down there because nothing will be in the nest. But when you do it about 8 o'clock at night, get yourself your can of spray, be 20 feet away, spray it until the can is empty. And as soon as the can is empty, just run back into the house and sit down and watch a Pirate game and go to bed. And then the next day you could wake up and you could go out there and knock the nest down and put in the garbage can, and it's going to be dead and gone.
Yeah, you can go on YouTube and watch folks like with a broomstick hitting the nest and the person down on the ground with a garbage bag ready to catch the nest.
Yeah, no, don't do that.
Don't do that. No. We don't want you getting stung or bit.
Game in the evening after you spray it.
So they were actually filming when I did that?
Yeah.
I would too, because that'd be hilarious to watch.
Oh my goodness gracious. That's what you call a sting operation.
Yes.
Here we go. Elizabeth in West Mifflin for the guys from True Value. Hi, Elizabeth.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. I'm asking the True Value experts on what would they recommend for removing rust from a wrought iron railing and removal and preventive before repainting.
Well, okay, that's fine. I can get this one. This is good. This is a nice one for us.
I know the wire brush and elbow grease will help to take it off, but is there anything else that you can apply? And then, of course, I need to prevent it from happening again.
So the best thing to do is we do have chemical products out there, ones made by Rust-Oleum, that actually takes the rust and converts it into a hardened paintable surface. It chemically alters the rust. The only thing, it does not eliminate all the elbow grease. You have to knock the big loose flakes off. You don't have to have it perfectly clean. You don't have to have it perfect in any way. You just need to knock the big heavy stuff off. You apply this, you brush it on. It dries to like a grayish, blackish color. And then at that, you can paint right over top of it and put your finished coat over top.
Oh, great. Mm-hmm. You know, it's made by Rust-Oleum.
It is made by Rust-Oleum. I think it's Rust Reformer. Rust Reformer is the name.
Oh, okay.
Very nice product. Comes in
works
spray
wonderful.
cans, brush-ons, whatever, but it's a very, very good way for wrought iron stuff to help prevent the rust from coming back.
Great. That will be something I'll be out purchasing and use.
And I believe probably all of us stock that. I don't see any of us not having that product.
It's a great product.
Very good product.
Oh, okay, great.
Thank you.
Well, thank you.
Have a great day now.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right, there goes Elizabeth. Let's move on now to Karen in Monroeville. Hey, Karen.
Hey, Rob. Good morning to you and all the gentlemen there. Enjoy the show very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Andy, you saved us. 2 years ago, we applied a weed and feed like you told that woman not to do in the hot weather, and we killed our lawn.
Yeah.
It was bad. So I called you at your store, and you told me exactly what to do, and we used the replanted with the Jonathan Green Black Beauty, and I tell you, we have one of the most beautiful lawns in the neighborhood.
Wonderful. I always like stories like that, so good. Thank you for sharing.
It was a lot of work, but we did it, and that grass is more beautiful than it was before it died because that product is amazing.
Wonderful.
Black Beauty grass seed.
Yep.
So I wanted to personally thank you.
Thank you
for all your great advice. I took the trip and went and bought the products at your store.
Thank you.
Because you had given me the advice, and it looks wonderful. So thank you so much.
Nope. Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, 866-391-1020. Keep those calls coming. Here's Phil. He joins us from West Mifflin on KDKA. Hey, Phil.
Hey there. Is there anything that I can get to make cleaning my oven easier? I'm an old guy. My wife is older, and we don't want to get bowled over by the fumes.
Okay.
And we just don't have the strength for elbow grease anymore.
No, it's a great question, great call. They Easy Off came out with a fume-free spray. So it's a good oven cleaner that does not have the fumes. So instead of it being in your old traditional yellow cans, it's in a blue can, but still very, very effective. And it's not going to kill you with the fumes and the smells and so forth of it. So that's really the best way if you don't have a self-cleaning oven that you're just going to turn on and let it cook its way off for 6 hours or so. The fume-free Easy Off does a very, very nice job. You spray it. You gotta let the product do the work before you start wiping it back off. And it's the biggest trick on any of these type of products, these cleaners and paint strippers and so forth. The biggest mistake people make is they spray and wipe right away. And it just, you gotta let the product do the work, but it will dissolve all the, drippings and grease and food particles and all that off of the oven, and it'll do a nice job for you. You'll be happy with it.
Hey, thank you very much. That's all I needed.
All right. Thank you.
All right. What about if you just don't want to be outside and you want to do some stuff on the inside over the 4th? What could we do over the 4th inside?
Well, I'm sure, Rob, you're going to probably just clean. You clean and you vacuum every single day of the week, and there you go. So there's cleaning in that you could be doing. But also, any of these small projects from, when was the last time you tuned up your toilet? When was the last time you got the water to quit running in the toilet and you changed the flapper? It's a 5-minute job, changing the flapper, but it's so critical with the water pricing and so forth and your sewage bills right now.
Well,
taking care of those toilets or cleaning the toilet itself.
Funny you should mention that because I heard something the other day that we've never talked about, and if we had, I missed it. Do they actually sell shower heads that control the amount of water that you use and the pressure?
Absolutely.
I guess it's legal, but when did that start? How does that work?
Years ago, they started putting water restrictor washers into shower heads. It was, I want to say
probably 30 years ago almost.
In the 80s or something. But it drastically reduces the amount of water. Some people are okay with that. Some people don't like it because then they don't get that hard impact shower flow coming on. So we have as many people that take the washers out of the shower heads when they buy them as leave them in there. Probably the biggest maintenance thing on shower heads, though, is people never clean them. And they're so easy to do to clean. Get yourself a bottle of CLR, put it in a Ziploc bag, and slide it over top of the shower head, Rob, and then just put a rubber band or a zip tie on it and let it sit for 6-7 hours. That CLR will clean that shower head without ever having to take the shower head off. Because a lot of people are like, boy, I don't want to take that shower head off. I won't know. I'll break something. I'll snap the pipe or anything. So just put it in a Ziploc bag and put it around the shower head and let it sit for half a day or a whole day or 2 days. And then take the baggie off, turn the shower on, let it flow out. And you're going to have a brand new functioning full flow shower head without all that calcium and lime buildup. And it's the same thing for toilets. You want to clean them, and you get that, toilet Santeen, toilet tank, toilet bowl cleaner, put that in there, let it sit for, a good 12 hours or so, and boy, that toilet's going to look brand new when you're done.
All right, 866-391-1020. We've got every single line available. One more segment to get a hold of the guys. They're here until 11, and that number again is 866-391-1020. Next hour, AAA Central's Talking Travel. And then we wrap up our Saturday talking law for the elderly. It's Zachariah Brown Brackovich today in that noon hour. So we got lots more to do before we're done, so hope you'll stay with me. But right now, great opportunity. Last call, one more segment. Give us a call right now at 866-391-1020. Home Improvement in the Spotlight, True Value Home Improvement Show, KDKA.
When you need to know, depend on the news leader. At home, in your car, or at work. The voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM, AM 1020, and KDKARadio.com.
Pittsburgh, Larry Richard here. Let's go to Paris to cheer on the black and gold. I have your golden ticket through AAA October 21st through the 26th. We're taking over the City of Light. Round-trip flights, a luxury Marriott stay, game tickets, and an epic black and gold kickoff party. Double occupancy packages starting at $7,199. Space is extremely limited. Call 800-354-8761 or visit your local AAA branch now. Here we go to Paris with AAA Travel.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
The Home Improvement Hour with the guys from True Value.
All right, 866-391-1020, number to dial to be on the show. Coming up next hour again, AAA Essentials Talking Travel. So any of you guys going on a vacation soon, speaking of travel?
Heading to Italy, yes. Yeah, I'm going up to the Dolomites for a little bit of hiking in late August, so looking forward to that. Fly into Milan, and we have friends that live in Moljune, down in the French Riviera. They're driving up and meeting us in Milan and heading up north.
I'll be at Little Italy Days in Bloomfield coming up next month. So anyway, yeah, I mean, Mike, that guy. Speaking of Jonathan Green, he lets no grass grow. Only grass that will grow is if it was planted and using that product, Jonathan Green. Boy, you're all.
You know what, Rob? It's a beautiful earth we live in, and it's fun to go around and explore it.
Nice to
Chile,
explore it.
You've been to Poland.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you've been all over the globe.
Yeah, well, all of Western Europe. I've been through most every country over there, and South America, and
Over how many years now, Mike? When did this start? 10 years ago?
Probably more like 20 years I've been traveling like that, yeah.
That's pretty impressive. All right, here we go. Kim in Murraysville joins us on KDKA. Hey, Kim.
Hey, good morning. A couple of months back, you guys went through a really good protocol to remove mold from a bathroom. And I thought I communicated the right product to my husband, and he never was able to find it. I even tried to go to the Ace Out My Way. And what they gave us really didn't do the trick. Because I remember you guys saying that if you did it this way, it wouldn't come back. And it just keeps coming back.
Well, I imagine the product we were talking about is Concrobium. It's the best mold killer out there.
Can you spell that? My daughter's going to write that down.
Yeah, it's CONCROBIUM, Concrobium.
I think that's exactly right.
Yeah, and unlike trying with bleach or what have you, this literally kills down to the roots of the mold and will eliminate the product altogether, mold altogether. Now, some of the neat things and things to know about, depending when we say kill mold, it could be a wide-ranging subject. We're talking about how bad the mold, how thick the mold is, what severity is. Sometimes when the mold's pretty bad, that's still in your realm of handling it, you want to kill the mold first with Concrobium, and it will still look, it'll kill it, but you'll still see the mold. Then you need to clean the mold off the surface, and then the last step would be to leave a spray of Concrobium off of the clean surface. Like, say, even if you clean and said, Andy, right, you're going to repaint, go fine, repaint, whatever you want to do. But once you've killed the mold, then clean the mold, then you reapply the Concrobium, and it'll do an amazing job to not allow it to come back again.
It helps prevent the return of it. And the big thing the big thing to remember is bleach does not kill mold. Right. Bleach will remove a black stain, but it doesn't kill the roots of the mold. And most of your over-the-counter bathroom cleaners have bleach in it. So they say it kills it kills the mold, but it removes the stain without killing the roots of the mold spores. And that's what concrobium does. Is it kills? There's only 2 products on the market that I know of that'll kill the roots of mold: concrobium and the sniper. Those are the only 2 that are root killer.
I think he did use the sniper. That was the thing that they confused me, but he did not have the success. And I wouldn't describe this as being all encroaching mold. Okay, it's like spots is what I would describe it as in the shower stall. So I think it's better to try what you were saying. The
concrobium is the better of the 2 for what you're doing because you can reapply and it'll help prevent it from coming back.
Right. So you do the first, and then you reapply, and then you paint.
Correct. But you apply it, you kill the mold, you clean everything, then you can reapply, then you paint.
Now, I'm going to ask a question. Now, this is a painted surface then, correct?
Right.
Okay. Make sure in that painting process you put a sealer in there. You put a stain killer and a sealer in there to prevent that mold from coming back through, because it could be just bleeding through from the lower surface too.
Okay. See, that might be the issue then.
Yes. I mean, if you even if you kill that mold and you paint over top of it, that stain from that mold will come through the top coat of paint if you do not seal it.
Okay. What sealer do you recommend? Sealant?
I'd use the bin 1, 2, 3.
Say that one more time.
The bin made it's 1, 2, 3. It's in a blue can.
Okay.
Yeah, one of the best sealers on the market.
Okay. All right. Appreciate it, gentlemen. Have a good day.
All right.
No problem.
You too. Let's go to Steve in the South Hills. Hey, Steve, you were on KDKA. Go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks again for a great program. Sealing a driveway. This is a driveway. It's just a couple years old, asphalt driveway. The tar smell, just not pleasant. Are there alternative ways to seal an asphalt driveway without having to use tar?
No. There's a few latex-based blacktop sealers on the market. We've tried them. We've tested them. They have no smell, but they have no durability. So you're wasting your time. The tar base, they're really the only true way to do it. And picking the weather, the humidity, and so forth is going to help control the smell. But that's the best scenarios for you with it. But the ones on the market that don't have the smell aren't the good products to use. You'd be wasting your time and money.
That's why you reach out to the experts. Thank you all. Have a good day.
Thanks.
All right, good stuff. Here's Anna. Anna in Monroeville. You're on KDK's True Value Home Improvement Show. Hi, Anna.
I still have my groundhog. Last Saturday, I tried. It was suggested to try mothballs. So put the mothballs down at the entrance, and it started to rain a little bit. He came back and he sat right down on top of them.
Yeah.
And just looked up at us, And it's like yeah. What do I do to get rid of that huge groundhog?
Okay, now is this under your shed or under your deck?
It's under a big shed.
Okay, now I'll try and do this as quickly as I can here. With the groundhog itself, you have 2 entrances underneath that shed. You have to be able. You have to find the other entrance. It could be inconspicuous because it's just an emergency exit. But the best thing for keeping groundhogs from going underneath your shed is contaminating their entrances. And the best way to contaminate their entrances is with rotten fruit and vegetables. What you need to do is after the sun comes up and the groundhog leaves to go find food for the day. So I'm saying at 9 o'clock in the morning, you go out to that shed with a mixture of the most smelly, distasteful, rotten fruit and vegetables. So mix a 5-gallon bucket full and let it ferment for a week before you use it somewhere. So put in all your coffee grounds, all your rotten apples and tomatoes and rotten, slimy lettuce and everything. And you take and you shove it down into the hole after you know the groundhog is left. That's why I said 9 o'clock. And the groundhog comes back usually around 4 o'clock. But if the main entrance is contaminated, they're going to go to their secondary entrance, which is normally at the total opposite other side of the shed. So look around there. If you don't know where it is, spread it around the entire back area of the shed itself. And what the groundhog will do, a groundhog is a super, super neat, clean, tidy rodent. And he'll come back to that hole and he'll find the hole contaminated and he'll be pissed off and he'll go live in your neighbor's shed. They just won't come back. So you just leave that rotten fruit and vegetable there for a couple of days and the groundhog will make its new nest somewhere else.
Yeah, put it right where its fresh laundry is.
Never fails, but you got to get both entrances and you got to do it after the groundhog left.
Let's get one more quick one here. Here's Jerry, Bethel Park. Jerry, you're on the air. Go ahead. Welcome to KDKA.
Yes, I have a question about a plant I have. It's a philodendron, and the leaves keep turning yellow. Am I putting too much water, not enough water, or what's the problem here?
My first guess would be too much water, and if it's just because they're turning yellow, that's normally the case is just way too much water itself. If they're brown and yellow, then you might have a fungicide on it. You need to get into a systemic disease product that will be absorbed into the roots itself. But if it's really just going yellow, I'm going to guess it's way overwatered. So quit watering it for a couple of weeks. Just let God do it.
All right, we are down to our final minute. It's all yours, gentlemen. Andy, you begin.
All right, EV True Value, give me a call, 412-835-5780, or go to shopev.com. Or pick up, take a look at those Harmony products we were talking about, harmonyoic.com. And don't forget, next weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, is our tent sale. But all the lawnmowers and grills are already at tent sale pricing because the tent went up yesterday because it takes us a week to put this whole thing together. So stop out and take a look or give us a call. We love answering all your questions and emails.
And anywhere in your listening area, check out SarverTrueValueRental.com. Really easy to find it, SarverTrueValueRental.com. We service all of Western Pennsylvania and parts of Ohio and West Virginia. If you need any rental equipment, we, of course, deliver. So check it out, SarverTrueValueRental.com.
Also, don't forget to stop down to R.C. Walters & Sons. We are also having our outdoor sale, the same as you are next week, Andy. We're starts on Monday, and it's going to run till Saturday. And also on July 4th, we will be open from 9 to 2. Stop down and see us at R.C. Walters & Sons or give us a phone call, 412-751-5500.
All right, R.C. Walters & Sons, Sarver True Value Rental, and EV True Value Rental, and the other stores.
And Slippery Rock, True Value Hardware, Daniels, True Value Hardware.
All right, good stuff. News coming up, and then AAA Central's Talking Travel. We just roll on your Pratt Pack for a Saturday at KDKA, 100.1 FM, AM 1020. Rob Taylor coming up next with that news at 11.
The proceeding was paid for by True Value. Information on the program was intended solely to further the public's general knowledge about the product. Opinions expressed should not be relied upon for any purpose by any member of the audience.
The Big K Morning Show with Larry Richards.
Are you smarter than an anchor man? And we have Joe from Penn Hills as a lifeline for me. Joe, what do you like? A, B, C?
Oh, I like the Super Mario. Is that A?
I'm going with you, Joe. You're my lifeline.
The answer was B, Incredibles 2.
Come on, Joe.
Weekday mornings 5:30 to 10 on the Voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce, spruce, spruce.
It's spruce, the weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people, pets, and bees. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour, and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. spruce. Pet friendly, weed deadly. Find wherever weed killers are sold.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
It's no secret that Pennsylvania's state system of higher education schools have undergone a drastic enrollment decline since their peak period between 2010 and 2011. But even with school consolidations and minor student count reversals in recent years, Allegheny Institute researcher Jake Hulk says the prospect for future enrollment gains is not very good. Learn more at AlleghenyInstitute.org, where conventional public policy wisdom has been challenged for more than 30 years. AlleghenyInstitute.org.
100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA, covered by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 platinum roofing company. Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
KDKA and KDKA-FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Medicare Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 70 degrees, Pittsburgh International at 11 o'clock. I'm Rob Taylor. 2 people have died following an early morning crash on the Pennsylvania Turnpike. This happened around 2:30 this morning in the eastbound lanes of I-76 near the Route 136 overpass in Hempfield Township. Still working to learn the circumstances of what led up to the crash. It is also unknown the identities of the 2 people who died. Stay with News Radio KDK for more on this story. Homicide and gun charges were held for court on a 15-year-old accused of killing a 17-year-old in the Cultural District downtown back on June 14th. 15-year-old Riley Doubt is facing those homicide charges after prosecutors say he shot and killed 17-year-old Elijah Thomas Hayden near the intersection of Penn Avenue and 7th Street. During Friday's hearing, a Pittsburgh police detective said he initially drove Doubt to his home in the Hill District before returning a short time later to arrest Doubt after the detective learned Doubt was possibly involved in the shooting. Doubt's attorney argued the case should be placed in juvenile court. A downtown dedication on Friday recognized the lasting legacy of abolitionist George B. Vashon. News Radio KDK's Tamara Rush was there as details.
Vashon's great-great-grandson Paul Thornell joined city leaders in downtown Pittsburgh as a new historical marker was unveiled, recognizing his legacy as a lawyer, scholar, and abolitionist.
George B. Vashon was one of the first black college graduates, first black college professors, and first black lawyers in the country, but grew up here, right here on site at the corner of 3rd and Market Streets. His father, John B. Vashon, was one of the leading black businessmen at the time. He had a public bathhouse, which was the first public bathhouse in Pittsburgh. It was connected to a barber shop, and during the day he would cater to white and black clientele, and at night there were escaped slaves that were coming through because there was a stop on the Underground Railroad.
The marker now stands at 3rd Avenue and Market Street, where visitors can learn more about one of Pittsburgh's pioneering black leaders. Tamira Rush, News Radio KDKA.
Well, crews have been getting Point State Park concert ready as the America 250 PA Commonwealth Concert Series invades the Point this evening. Musical acts Nelly, Third Eye Blind, and Frizzy will perform this evening to a sold-out crowd. Gates open at 5 o'clock. For the city of Pittsburgh, the concert marks the start of the 4th of July festivities, which culminates with the Pittsburgh 4th of July Fireworks Spectacular next Saturday, July 4th. That's also at the Point. And starting at noon today, it's Whammo Day. Our sister station, Whammo 107.3, teaming up with the city of Pittsburgh for the Juneteenth finale. Noon to 4 at Highland Park. We talked to Whammo on-air host Kiki about today's event.
Small business vendors, food trucks. There'll be activities for kids. There'll be entertainment from local artists. So families can come out, bring their blankets, their chairs, their pocketbooks so that they can support their small businesses, just basically keeping the tradition of community and family-friendly events alive. And we're just happy to partner with the city of Pittsburgh and, of course, Juneteenth.
And today will also be a very special day for Kiki. She's being honored with a proclamation from the city for her many contributions and the passion she's shown throughout the years for the station's heritage and history. KDK Radio News Time, 11:03. The AccuWeather forecast next.
Don't delay in getting that plumbing repair done. Call Palucci Plumbing today for all of your plumbing needs. From trenchless sewer repair and waterline repairs and replacement, hot water tanks, sewer camera inspections, to Pittsburgh potty repairs, no job is too small for Palucci Plumbing. Owners Amy and Nick Palucci have been in business for 26 years, so give them a call for your next plumbing repair or replacement. Palucci Plumbing, 412-782-5050. That's 412-782-5050.
When it comes to family law, a lot has changed in recent years, so assumptions can be costly. If you see or sense a change coming in your family life that could have legal implications, it's important to know where you stand. Getting good legal advice early is never a bad idea. I'm Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. If you or anyone you know is facing a family law issue, start with a consultation. Visit CordellCordell.com.
Pittsburgh and Cranberry Township. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois only.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred roofing replacement contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
It will be mostly cloudy and humid today with some rain and a rumble of thunder, high up to 75. Clear to partly cloudy and humid tonight, low down to 66. Partly sunny tomorrow with a passing shower or two, high up to 80. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Matt Riddy, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The following program, Talking Travel, is sponsored by AAA Travel Agency. All information provided on this program is supplied by AAA. News Radio KDKA cannot guarantee the accuracy of the information, nor do we warrant the price, availability, or quality of the travel services discussed. If you're planning a getaway, go with the folks who know travel. We're Talking Travel with AAA on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA. If you're planning a getaway, go with the folks who know travel. We're Talking Travel with AAA on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
And my day just rolls on. We're into another show in another hour, and it's the 11 a.m. hour. It's a Saturday, so you know it's got to be AAA, right? Been talking about them quite a bit with my social media platform in recent days because there's so much going on. Of course, that big weekend that is the 4th of July, but it's been the Traveling Roadshow for Caitlin Seigan, and she has been here, there, and everywhere, and we're going to go through it all, but we've also got some things that are tied into the 250th birthday. Don't forget to get that AAA app. Don't forget to get to your AAA office, everything before you go. And of course, when it comes to going anywhere, you need to get the membership because it will actually pay you money along the way, each and every mile that you are underway this travel season of 2026. So from Ireland to New York and everywhere in between, I swear I followed every step of the way, and I just could not believe how much ground you covered recently. So welcome back, and let's do a little triptych of our own and a little travel log. So talk about some of the places that you went, people that you met, and some great food and sites that you definitely were a part of.
Yeah, so it's great to be back. We've been all over the place. We did a 10-day European trip at the end of May. So we started in Dublin, Ireland. Of course, got to visit historic sites and also imbibe in things like Guinness and the whiskey distilling culture there as well. We continued on to Belfast in Northern Ireland. Just so much history there and, really, really a great experience. We got to see the Titanic Museum. That's a really iconic
that's awesome.
Experience. Yeah, it was really, we probably spent 4 hours there, honestly, and we didn't even read every little blurb. It was such a neat, immersive experience. And then we traveled over to London. We spent a few days in London, seeing the sights. And now, they're going through the heat wave, and they were having a similar one when we were there.
Yeah,
it was
saw
about
that.
90 degrees every day.
No,
So
is this unusual for them? Because
It is. It is. And there's these different, heat bubbles, heat pockets that are moving across. And I think we're supposed to have one here next week, something similar where we're going to be close to the triple digits.
Hotter than the 4th of July.
Exactly.
I love it.
But it was still, an amazing experience to get to see so much of London, get to see Big Ben and ride on the London Eye. And it's just beautiful, and there's a lot of really amazing free experiences in London, a lot of free viewpoints. So we were able to take advantage of Horizon 22, and we were 58 stories up. It was free to go up. It's ticketed, but we were able to walk up and get a free ticket right on the spot ride the whole way up that 58 stories and get to see. I love that. I love getting to see cities from that vantage point. You could see everything.
A bird's eye view.
Bird's eye view, indeed. It was amazing. And then we ventured on to Paris. Amazing getting to take a little river cruise on the Seine, getting to experience dinner in the Eiffel Tower. We were there during the UEFA soccer, the championships, the European championships. And Paris Saint-Germain, PSG, was playing against Arsenal. So it was funny because Arsenal is London, PSG, of course, is Paris, and Paris won while we were there. And that was
exciting.
So exciting. Such a neat, I love those little surprises that you get to experience on the way, too. I didn't know that they were playing until about 2 days before. When we were there, and we were like, but of course, we dove right into it. We bought the jerseys and we wore them around, and, we hooted and hollered with people in the street. It was crazy, though. Everyone in their motorbikes, honking their horns, fireworks, and it was really beautiful. The Eiffel Tower was lit up in the colors of the French flag, which are also Paris Saint-Germain's colors, so the red, white, and blue as well. And, because it sparkles every night at 10 p.m., but it sparkled in the red and the red and the blue, and it was just so beautiful.
Well, there's the other football, as in Football team that represents this great place, Steeler Nation, and red, white, and blue. The Steelers will be there. That great trip being planned now by AAA to go to Paris to watch them Week 7 against the New Orleans Saints.
Absolutely, yeah. So that trip is October 21st through the 26th. That's coming up quickly. And if you're interested in learning more, they're actually having an event in Southern Tier there on the North Shore on Monday from 6 to 8:30. So it's not too late to sign up. They're giving away prizes. Everyone gets a free gift just for attending, and it's a really great presentation as well as like a Q&A session. So if you're on the fence or you want to know a little bit more about it, this is a great way to come and grab dinner, learn about the trip, and really, book it there and get some extra prizes as well.
Travel really, when it works, is beautiful, and it works more times than not. But what we've been able to do with this World Cup, getting people from all over the world, I mean, you haven't heard of any glitches or anything, so that's pretty incredible.
It is. It's really incredible. And I was lucky enough to be in New York City last weekend. And New York City, of course, is hosting the championship game at the end, And I wasn't there for any games because I'm sure that those rooms were booked up way before. But it was so neat to see everyone. We broke out our Paris Saint-Germain jerseys and wore them around. And everyone, honestly, I'd say 70% of people were wearing some kind of soccer paraphernalia, soccer jerseys, getting to see, New York City is such an international city to begin with, but all of the energy there and even more international vibe and feeling. And they do a really cool, if you happen to be in New York City in the next few weeks while the World Cup is still going on, they have a passport there and you can pick it up. We picked ours up at the airport, and it tells you, Little Italy and Chinatown, but there are so many different places that, there's a little Haiti and a little Cuba, and you could really get to experience not just the international culture, but the international flavors, the cuisines that without leaving the U.S.
You said you put about 10 miles a day.
We did.
Just walking around New York.
Yes, absolutely. Because we really, it is one of the tours of the week that's featuring the hotel that we stayed at, but it's right there in Times Square. But there's no bad place to stay in New York City because the public transportation is amazing. But it was so neat to just go and walk and see things. And, I'd have a plan. I'd say we're going to hit stop A, B, C, and D, and we get to stop A, and then we'd see something else. And would dart over there, and then would dart this way, and then we'd be like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize we were so close to this. And so, it was very easy to put on 10 miles a day. I actually calculated, we walked over 53,000 steps in a weekend. Yeah. I could feel it by the end of the day. So, thankfully we packed good walking shoes. But it's so neat to just see, there's so much beauty. We visited St. Patrick's Cathedral. It's so beautiful and incredible. And it was really neat because the month prior in Paris, we had been at Notre Dame. So we really got to appreciate that beautiful architecture and really, those stained glass windows and, the organ. Both places we were actually lucky enough to be there and hear the organ play and the way that it reverberates in that structure. Just so beautiful, powerful, and moving. So, plus the architecture of all the, the buildings and we got to, again, a viewpoint. We went to Freedom Tower, World Trade Center. and go to the top of that, the One World Observatory. It's 102 stories up. So we thought we were high in London being 58 stories up, but being 102 stories up, you could see all 5 boroughs there in New York City. And it was just, it's a beautiful city, and it's so amazing to get to experience.
Listen, you talked about the whiskey, you talked about the Guinness. Now let's talk about the food in New York. So what did you eat in New York?
Well, we kind of did a crawl of the different iconic New York food. So I probably ate a whole pizza, honestly, between the different pizza shops we went and visited. And we had to get a slice here and a slice there. We got a slice outside Yankee Stadium to try, the pizza up in the Bronx. And then we got one in Times Square, because every pizza shop is a little different. And, there are so many resources out there, including things on AAA.com. AAA's podcast has a really cool episode about food crawls and talks about the pizza in New York City. So it kind of inspired us to really get to see all these different pizza shops. We did the hot dogs. We did the, we had some bagels. Liberty Bagel has spots all over the city, and they're really famous. They probably had 40 types of cream cheese. I'm not even exaggerating. Probably 30 different types of bagels. There's infinite combinations, really. You could go every day and try something different.
And that's kind of like it is with delis in New York City.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, so that would be, and that was one nice thing about walking around, too. You'd pop by something, you'd be like, oh, there's Katz's Deli. And then there were so many other delis. Katz's is the most famous for their pastrami and everything. Right. Absolutely. But there are so many great options in that area of town.
Times Square, Broadway.
Yes, amazing. And never, it never sleeps. There was
24/7.
24/7, and on the day we left, Norway was playing, and I'm sure you've probably seen their iconic row cheer, and they all do it. It's amazing. The coordination there is incredible, and they were doing it in Times Square, and it was just so neat to see this sea of red and these that Viking image, and it's just so neat.
It is good. We have so much to get to with her, but we're glad that she's here. She is Caitlin Seigan. And when we come back, we're going to kind of talk New York City with you when we continue today right here on KDKA.
When you need to talk, we're here for you. Always have been. News Radio KDKA.
Looking for the adventure of a lifetime? Join AAA Travel November 1st through the 8th, 2026. On their featured vacation, explore Machu Picchu. Experience breathtaking scenery, rich culture, and unforgettable moments. Travel with confidence on a professionally guided small group journey. Explore the energy of Lima and the historic charm of Cusco. Experience the beauty and traditions of Peru's Sacred Valley. Meet local communities and enjoy authentic cultural connections. Savor regional cuisine and unique dining experiences. Then board a scenic train through the spectacular Andes Mountains. Your reward is an unforgettable visit to the legendary Machu Picchu. Stand in awe of one of the world's most remarkable destinations. This vacation includes hotel accommodations and transportation, sightseeing, select $55 per person based on double occupancy. Interest in Peru continues to grow and availability is limited. Secure your spot now before space fills up. Visit your local AAA travel office or call 1-800-354-8761 to learn more.
As the old saying goes, size matters.
At Morgan & Morgan, we have over 1,000 lawyers and nearly 6,000 people on staff.
But at the core, this is and always has been a family business.
Our family watching out for your family.
Call us or email us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, even on a Saturday or a Sunday.
And if you ever have a problem,